They don't spot it. Kennedy looking for it, and it drops. Stanford wins and is going to Omaha. Wow.
Wow, that's all I can say was that I have never seen that on any level of baseball. An impactful play, a routine fly ball, one that was everyone was talking about on Monday night. That's the Super Regional Series. Texas had really fought their way back in that game. Winner goes to Omaha, and it was popped up so high that Dylan Campbell and EK, they lost it in the sky. We're going to dive into this, but it was, I don't want to say devastating, but one of the hardest moments to watch in Texas baseball history I don't even know what to say about it. It's hard to watch any team lose like that because I've never seen it. Have you seen anything where a team season with so much on the line ends on a routine fly ball, so to speak?
No, sir. And all I have to say is,
oh, wow. Test the little lyrical research, blinded by the light.
I did do a little lyrical research, and I mean, I thought it was, I guess the only word I can describe is nauseating.
Yeah, it was.
I felt like I just wanted to vomit. After they were blinded by the light.
Yeah,
was lost in the stars is what I like to call it.
It was a struggle.
That was really tough to watch. Yeah, I don't really want to think about it much.
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of fans, even Texas A&M Aggie fans, OU, everybody who hates Texas, truly felt badly for the Longhorns because that was a very, very gritty team. And that's what we're going to talk about here in episode 265, Tuesdays with Tess. And, before we dive deep in it, we got to give a shout out to Tess's mom. And if you don't know who she is, this is her company, and she is the primary sponsor of Tuesdays with Tess.
Thanks,
I
Mom.
love it. Matt Girl,
Thanks for making me.
Yes. So briefly, just give a description of those people who obviously floor mats, an underrated product. Tess, what all, your mom's very skilled, resourceful, creative. What all does she create on a mat?
She can do any logo, photo, picture. So, you can be at the entrance to your company or maybe even your home.
Well, go to mattgirl.com and you can communicate, check it out, check out her products, order, submit the logo you want. So as we continue with the season-ending gut punch that was Monday night, the third and decisive game for the Texas Longhorns in the Super Regional, essentially the Sweet 16, they could have they tied the game up, and they were about to go to the 10th inning with just that catch. And Dylan Campbell, we'll talk about him. He's, I think, the best right fielder in all of college baseball. Tremendous talent, great guy, great family, and just one of the many dudes, so to speak, on that Texas Longhorn baseball team who really a true team of grinders, but lost it in the lights at Stanford. That was really tough. And here is Dylan Campbell after the game, and that is compliments of Roger Wallace, the legendary sports director of KXAN. I got this interview with him, and he posted it on Twitter.
I mean, like you saw, it was just Mother Nature. I mean, it was a twilight sky, and me and EK couldn't see the ball off the bat. So, I mean, that's just very fortunate on there, and that it happened like that. I guess we just got to move forward, I guess. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now. It's over.
Oh, DC.
Over. I hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
It stinks, but on to next year.
Well, hey, you hate it. And it was just letting it marinate, so to speak, has been really difficult. And it's not only for me, but for a lot of people. I saw a lot of non-sports fans just truly devastated by it. They were this close to going back to Omaha for a third consecutive year. And
I know.
No other program's been to Omaha more than the Texas Longhorns.
Right. Hook 'em, baby. Well, I look forward to next year. So some of the guys will be back. So can't wait. And maybe we'll get one of the regionals at Dish Falk this time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That'd be really fun. That was really fun last year. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. And it's May and June Madness. It's if you were a betting man or woman, it usually Dish Falk's going to be a host site. But DC he's a junior. He could come back. And, there's 20 rounds, and we'll talk about that. And here's one of the reasons why Dylan is such a valuable piece and can be a valuable piece to an MLB franchise. I mean, this double play right here, Dylan is a great outfielder. Look what he does. Doubles up the Stanford runner at third. This gun of his. Freaking guys, he's throwing missiles from the outfield.
CG yesterday in game 2. And now Troy to right, and Dylan Campbell roams in toward the line for out number 2. Campbell, his throw all the way through. Got him! Dylan Campbell! No, you didn't!
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Missile.
Launched.
Connected. Boom.
It's the guy's done it before. But he's the epitome of what Texas was in the postseason. Laying out for balls in Miami, timely hits. I mean, the kid had a 38-game hit streak, the best ever at UT, the best ever in the Big 12, consecutive games. And it's really hard to really put in perspective all of this. And one of the things that I wanted to say that when you look at this kid, and we just had his dad on last week with Hard and with the on deck at the Dish with Harge. I mean, it's just a true example of the Longhorn family, baseball family. I mean, Donovan Campbell, and there's the Campbell family.
Love it.
And then his Donovan's sister on the far right. I mean, it's just they're almost all of them are there every game, like so many baseball families are.
The family out at Dish is really just truly amazing from all over, not just local families.
Right. It's Houston, and a great story. Just good human beings, but Donovan wanted to reassure you and everyone else. Just if Dylan does decide, he will be drafted in the MLB amateur draft coming up. He will be. The question is what round. But regardless, Donovan said he's forever a part of the Longhorn family, and he will be returning to the Dish.
That's right. He'll always be a Longhorn.
100%. And the one thing that so the MLB amateur draft is 20 rounds. It used to be 35. So I'm thinking, Tess, if he's not drafted in the first 6 or 7 rounds, because the slotted money gets less and less after each round, that there's a good chance he could come back.
I mean, I would love for him to come back, but I know when people have to make decisions about their career and things like that. So I will be very understanding, but I would just be tickled burnt orange if he came back.
That's right. So
I have a friend here.
It's Luna.
It's a dog nose.
Luna.
She's actually in her Longhorn collar too. Look.
I love it. I love it a lot.
She was wearing it last night, but it's okay. She understood. I had to explain to her that you can't win them all.
Yeah, she's like me, a little upset about it, a little disappointed.
Right.
So this was labeled I find it's amusing. I think we were all thinking a rebuilding year with 19 new players, 3 new coaches, but look what they did.
Honestly, I was talking about this last night with some friends, and for what they had, the challenges stacked up against them, I thought they had a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely phenomenal. I don't think they could have done any better. I mean, the cherry on top would have been beating Stanford and going to Omaha, but really, really impressive. And I'll go ahead and say it. I'm one of the people that said rebuilding. It came out of these two lips. So I just, wow. So I think next year, woo, I mean, we'll see. But I feel like good things are coming for a University of Texas baseball team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they lost Ivan Melendez. Can't replace him. You had Eric King, who was one of the fastest humans to have played at UT. You had Daly. You had Gilmet, who was a transfer. I mean, brought us some attitude, some grit. And then, Jalen Flores, freshman, he has that big timely homer in Miami.
Yep.
That 9-run third inning, and that Saturday night game of that winners bracket. And then, Texas found a way to win that game 1 at Stanford when they probably should not have won that game, but they did.
Right. No, came back in the end. I mean, it's pretty neat. You can't ever, it ain't over until it's over. So, and Texas has proved that in a couple of these games in these regional series. So I was hoping that they would do the same in game 3, but it's okay. It just wasn't in the cards.
It wasn't. And so now we've got to look and reveal, obviously, the College World Series field of 8. The 8 remaining standing, who are advancing to the greatest show on dirt. And TCU's phenomenal sports year continues. Right. TCU, after Texas took that series against them, just flipped on a switch.
Yeah,
TCU's back, and they're in I would say the bracket, which I would assume would be better for them. They're on the other side of Wake Forest and LSU,
right.
Stanford, and Tennessee. I mean, if you're looking at this, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It would not surprise me if TCU is playing in the National Championship Series.
Would not surprise me either. I mean, I agree with you. I think over in the obviously the bracket that TCU is, and they're probably the biggest challenge there is going to be Florida, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, all the teams are good, but I mean, the other one over there, gosh, LSU, Wake Forest, and Stanford, and I mean Tennessee too. But yeah, I don't know. It might be TCU, Wake Forest, maybe.
So those are your pick. You're going to say.
I'm going to say, are we picking the national championship?
This, yeah. So you think you're thinking Wake Forest will come out? I think. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and throw
LSU.
LSU should win it. LSU should win it. But Wake Forest. If you have a chance, look at the numbers they put up. Look at the scores, the margin of victory. Especially in the postseason, in the regionals and super regionals. Ridiculous numbers.
It'd be really fun to see Florida LSU play.
That's all SEC.
Yeah. Well, and, there's some rivalry there, too. So that'd be kind of I think that'd be a fun matchup. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with – I mean, I would like to see TCU, but I'm kind of like I might go with Florida LSU.
That's a good one. I want to go ahead and say this. I think Oral Roberts, good old Oral Bob, they've been a great mid-major program for a long time.
Oral B.
Oral B.
The toothbrushes are going to take it.
Representing T-Town, the great city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, private school. They were a program which was not good early in the year, and they about a third of the way through snapped out of it and really just turned it on. Man, I'm going to take Oral Roberts to win a game or two in that side of the bracket.
Okay.
But I really think it would not surprise me if TCU ends up in that championship series. And don't count out, Stanford. I don't know. I think they have one of the most balanced lineups in college baseball. Vincent Royal made an appearance here.
Oh, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
So what did you like about? Did you see potential national championship run team when you were watching Stanford?
I mean, I could see him there. LSU is so good, and I mean there's not a team in this whole thing that's not, no. I feel like everybody's really deserving. I mean, to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, gosh, it could be anybody, but I still think LSU Wake Forest over Stanford if I had to pick.
Yeah. And Tennessee has got a pitcher who's a wild man. He throws 102 miles an hour.
He's the pitcher from Major League, Charlie Sheen. Wild thing.
I mean, that guy, 102 miles an hour late in the game. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize this, but there's a national championship or national champion from the great state of Texas in college baseball.
I love the dog pile.
I love the dog pile.
I watched that a couple times. People were just catapulting themselves. So I thought that was so great. Them celebrating. I mean, if that didn't put a smile on your face, nothing will. So
nothing. Cool. It was a pretty solid dog pile. There were a lot of there was a lot of air. There was a lot of
there's a lot of air. There was some flailing. Saw some legs, arms. People had their arms between the two pillows. They probably didn't know it. Yeah. Probably were some balls grabbed, all kinds of stuff going on in there, but it doesn't matter because you're
a lot of testicles.
So when you're wieners, you don't care about putting
a lot of inadvertent credit cards, ATM slides. Shout out because I just find it very not ironic but coincidental. We had that story about Angelo State baseball on the podcast platform, and they win it all this year.
Amazing.
Division II. Shout out to Adam Foster, who's a friend of the program here, a fan of Tess Sawyer's. He is the assistant baseball coach at Angelo State. He's the one that led Georgetown High School to so much success, state championship appearances, got to play at Dell Diamond for in the state tournament. I bet they had 10,000 fans twice. But
way to go, Adam
Foster and family and his lovely wife, and they're a beautiful family there. They enjoying San Angelo, but the head coach at Angelo State Division II program, Kevin Brooks, played at Baylor for the legendary and Mickey Sullivan. Shout out to former Anderson Trojan, David Hafner, who played for Mickey Sullivan with Brooks.
David!
You know him.
Yes.
But
he used to be really good friends with my cousin, Mr. Chris Potts.
That's right. They played on those great.
Also pitched for Anderson Trojan baseball.
Great
CP
program.
Yeah.
Great program. A lot of talent.
Yep. Those two guys were buds.
Isn't that crazy how that works? But Angelo State has a ton of Austin area talent.
Love it.
From Dripping Springs to Round Rock.
Yep.
And one in particular, the son of a Longhorn legend, the son of a man who just recently had his number retired at just Falk Field, that being the son of Kurt Dressendorfer, one of the best to ever play the game. That's David Dressendorfer there after they won it in Cary, North Carolina.
How cool. I'm sure he just loved that. That is so neat.
I love it. Kurt hadn't aged one bit.
No, he
Not
follows
at
all that moisturizer.
I love
He
this.
looks like he probably has some good product in his cabinet.
I would guess, and I would guess that maybe, just maybe, the youthful appearance of the Kurt Dressendorfer, maybe because he uses a certain product that we promote. The manscaping can be up here, down below. The German Black Forest can be trimmed, but summer months, and I take this with me wherever I go. It's called the Crop Reviver. If you ever see a little spritz down below, just a little mist.
What is it, like Nair?
No, it is just a way to change the aroma.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So it's a scented. It doesn't do anything for hair. It just
it's just
smelling fresh.
Product. Yeah, it's
love it.
Crop Reviver, refreshing ball toner.
When it's 100 degrees in Austin, Texas, you need to be spraying that stuff
Crop Reviver. And when you go to these festivals, when you go to the river, or wherever you may go, outdoor concerts, just fits in your pocket. A little bitty. It's real cute. Little bitty thing. See?
Spray your dick while you're at the concert.
Spray your shaft. Right in that little region, where it gets tucked in. It stays in there. It's moist. Moist. Use the promo code ManCave20 for 20% off there, Tess. Let's take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to talk about a dynasty. Tess has some suggestions. My random finds is something, again, that is not healthy. I think everyone can appreciate some good HVAC humor. And I'm sure this is a question most of us don't have a clue how to answer. When's the last time you changed your air filter? This is Sean Clynch, the host of Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast, and I too am guilty of that. Probably not changing my air filter enough, and not doing that, well, it can create a lot of issues, from allergens to the efficiency of your HVAC. And I want to remind you right now, this is the ideal time, the end of May, the beginning of June. Call Honest AC and Plumbing to come out and schedule a maintenance for your AC. Give those guys a call at the number on your screen, 512-593-7852. You will not regret it. And I have the utmost trust in the guys at Honest, and so should you.
Now, Sean, you're not supposed to put anything OU on my phone. It's going to blow up.
Well, you know what?
I'll forgive you this one time.
I want you to sing Boomer Sooner.
It will never happen.
Never happen, ever.
I'd rather eat glass.
Hey, by the way, I have a green bottle. It keeps my green screen. This is not beer. It's lime, twist and lime Topo Chico, by the way. Shout out Topo Chico.
Yeah. Everybody likes the Topo Chico. That shit's popular.
It is.
Remember when nobody used to drink sparkling water?
Yes.
And then there was no sparkling water, and now there's a whole aisle of it at the grocery store.
Dozens.
Every flavor, every brand. It's like, I wonder if it's ever going to phase out.
Doubt it.
You know what I mean? Like clear Pepsi, that was a thing. Everybody was like, what the?
Does anybody use Crystal Light anymore?
They still sell it at the store. What about old Kool-Aid? Nobody drinks Kool-Aid anymore.
Well, we need to bring it back.
Yeah.
So the OU dynasty, OU softball, Patty Gasso, 29 years. she was absolutely one of my favorites when I was up there, and I loved working with her. She made fun of me all the time, said, "You sound like John Wayne." I was like, what the hell?
I don't think that's an insult. I think that's a compliment. John Wayne, the man.
John Wayne was the man. They don't make men like that anymore.
They do not. He was a real man.
Real man. She was hired in 96. Won a national championship in 2000. Women's College World Series, which is played up the road in Oklahoma City. She didn't win another one until after I left in 2013. And they just finished winning their third straight national championship. They went 61-1 this year.
Unbelievable.
They won 7 national championships, just like their football program.
Let's see, women's softball capital, dynasty, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and there's people saying they need to move the Women's College World Series out of OKC because it's a home field advantage for OU. Well,
I don't disagree with that.
Well, you have to win to get there.
That's true, but maybe a neutral place, like Switzerland or something.
Like Prague.
Copenhagen.
The red light district.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would match their outfits.
Yeah. Oh, my God, it would.
They're just a bunch of hookers.
So, yeah. But
sorry,
OU.
I didn't mean that, girls.
So,
no harm, no foul.
OU's phenomenal. Oklahoma State has been there the last 3 years, too. 4 years.
So, it's just a bunch of.
It's amazing, but you gotta win to get there.
That's true.
And Texas was there last year and played OU in the national championship series.
Mm-hmm.
But Patty Gasso, unbelievable. Now her top pitcher this year, she's transferring, going to Nebraska. She won the last 2 national championships, transferring to Nebraska, OU's former rival, because her boyfriend's going to play baseball there, I think. Interesting. So she's hopped in the portal, but she said something that I thought was weird. She said, even though OU was criticized for having so much fun and they celebrated everything from a walk to everything, they were so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
That they said that it's a lot of pressure to play for Oklahoma.
Well, I bet if they've got 7 national championships underneath their belt, I mean, it's probably very intense, kind of like playing football for Alabama.
So what is, you talked about Marfa, you've talked about Fredericksburg, which you were where you were recently. What's another good place in Texas that either you've been to, you haven't been in a while, or you're planning on going to, or maybe you had very little experience, but you think highly of?
I think a lot of people this time of year like to float the river.
Yeah.
And I think being in Austin, everybody thinks, you float the river in either the Guadalupe or the Comal or the 2 rivers.
Yeah.
So you go to Bronzefels or San Marcos. Well, I will tell you, people forget about the Frio River.
Yes.
And which is really beautiful because you have all this white rock and the water's a little bit crystalline and cleaner. And it's just a beautiful area to go float. So kind of like Concan or, you can also go to Garner State Park, great park. So a lot of stuff to do down there if you want to go take a trip. Now that one you definitely have to do an overnight. It's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
But it's another beautiful place to go float the river, especially with this heat, and get in the water and have some fun with your family and stuff like that.
Would it be less crowded than, say, the Guadalupe or Comal?
The times I've gone, it has been. I mean, you're still going to have some crowd, but nothing like that. And so that's kind of nice too. I feel like it's just a much larger river, more spread out, and the scenery is just
stunning.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful river to float. So I highly recommend, if you like floating the river, to take a little drive and go check out the Frio. So that's where I learned how to swim on the Frio River.
That's so beautiful. Know your little background to
Great
Texas
song.
rivers. Cool river. I love floating. Love floating the rivers.
Yep.
I love the Comal, nice and slow. We need more rain. Love the Guadalupe. But what I've noticed is it's not to the point where it's not enjoyable, but it's just way too crowded and it's a little too rowdy.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the Frio is going to have that same type, but I just feel like it's a little less if you're not into that part, like you just described, the rowdiness, the party. You're still going to see that on the Frio, but I feel like it's a little less, not quite at spring break, 23, that is like, in San Marcos or New Braunfels, which is, I mean, it's just crowded and it is some serious partying down there. So.
Yeah. So I made another discovery test. So I don't go around seeking bakeries, but I try to find places for client gifts, client appreciation type gifts. Well, there's this place. It's number 2, Pflour, spelled with a silent P like Pflugerville. Pflour Shop Bakery.
Not Pflour.
No.
Just Pflour.
Pflugerville, and Pflugerville's filled, new stadium, filled. Check out, and the lady on the left, on the top right, the lady on the left, that she is the owner. She is one of the natives of Pflugerville, Texas. The original one is in Pflugerville. Pflour Shop Bakery number 2 is on Burnet Road by Burnet and Rich Creek, and near it's before you it's about a half a block on the same side where Taco Deli is.
Okay. I know exactly where that is.
Kind of the general same area where Dallas nightclub used to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Farther north.
Okay.
It's literally right across the street on the same side from Juice Land.
Okay.
On Burnet Road. Burnet Road is really, there's a lot of changes as a lot of Austin is going through, but Burnet Road still kind of in this area you still have the flavor of old Austin.
You do. There's some great dive bars on Burnet Road.
Yes. So that picture right there on the left, I told her, I said, man, that would be a cool space to rent for a happy hour cocktail, just to get together for a small business or a group. And she said that they are looking into that to rent that front room space out. And you can tell by the design, it's bright, cool, inviting, uniquely different. And their cookies, they are diabetes inducing.
We know that Sean has a cookie fetish, if anybody didn't know.
Oh my God. I did buy one for myself in addition to the dozen for others.
You probably ate it in the car. I know you.
I split it in half and split that half over 2 days.
You did not.
I did. I got a treat for you. We've got 2 TikToking in the Man Cave videos today.
Yeah.
For Tess, as we are wrapping this up. The first one is so how would you describe your first ever experience with In-N-Out Burger?
Well, I'm not sure if I remember it. I might have been a little drunk, Sean.
Yeah, many people
like kind of a late night establishment.
In-N-Out. Yeah.
I think they were good. Their burgers are good. I like In-N-Out. Actually, I think the one on campus was the first place I ever had one.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Cali owned and operated franchise. Get it? I learned when I was in Vegas years ago to order it animal style.
Yes. Heard this. Is that without a bun?
It just has everything on it.
Oh.
If I remember. So let me know if this is a little exaggerated. This is absolutely, I laughed. This is this young couple's first In-N-Out experience. Maybe a little exaggerated, but a little sexual. Let's go.
I put my dick in this.
Mm-hmm. I fucked the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Oh!
I'll have what she's having.
It's good, but it wasn't that.
But it's good.
I'll take top notch all day.
Love a top notch. I love a Dirties too.
Dirties is fabulous.
Fantastic hamburger.
Who's a very good supporter of Stories Inside the Man Cave, all of our platforms. So this one is a girl dad, your second one for you. You'll love this. I was going to save this for Stevie Lee, and I probably will. I think this is Stevie Lee because he is a girl dad through and through. But this is the ultimate girl dad getting involved on TikTok and implementing his two cute little daughters.
What's happening? What's happening? Hey, it's boy Lil Jon. The pick your meat click. What's up, Phony? What's happening? What's up, Sean Paul? What's happening? Hey, now ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time now. About that time. Turn this thing on out. Now let me see everybody do this. Hey, let's go. Snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey.
So cute. So cute.
Little John with the little girls.
Little John and little girls.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
Not bad for a Philly Eagles fan. I'll let that slide.
Again, OU and Philly, we'll let them both slide.
Let them both slide. Let them slide into our Man Cave DMs.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
All right, you know how we do it. We like to end these things with a lot of positivity, and there's a lot to be smiling about despite some of the negative things we see. But for me, I'll just say summertime in the ATX. It's a beautiful place.
It sure is. I was actually going to mention that too. I love summer. I feel like everything slows down a little bit here in Austin. You know, the kids are gone from school and the kids that live in the college kids and the kids that live here aren't having to go to school. So traffic gets a little bit better and everything just gets a little bit lighter. You can actually walk into a restaurant without making a reservation. Not all of them. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so it's just a lot of pool time, a lot of lake time, outdoor time, golf, whatever you like to do. So yeah, summer is a good, nice part of the year, and we're right in the thick of it. So amen.
I love it. And that prompted me a thought. Those of you watching, listening, good lead-in test to get some viewer and listener involvement. Go to the Twitter handle, our Twitter page, @StoriesManCave. Let us know of your favorite ATX restaurants in the summertime. And let us know of the ones that maybe a lot of people don't know about that don't require a reservation. That is well worth it on an evening during the middle of the week, or maybe it's on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday brunch, something like that.
Love it. Let us know.
@StoriesManCave. Tess, been fun. It did not start off real well this week, but you know what? It's a story of life in sports. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. But, man, what a great run by the Longhorns. And I know that's the majority of our viewers and listeners. It was a gut punch. It was heartbreaking on Monday night to watch that. But to Coach Pierce and the entire staff, this was your best coaching job. And I try not to be a fan really on this podcast, but man, I think that may be one of my favorite teams I've ever watched, and it was heartbreaking to see how it went down Monday night.
Yeah, well, we love you, Longhorns.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and I know somebody was pulling for him, Mama C. That's one sport. Because you were always a bandwagon football fan. You only pulled for football when they were winning, but baseball you loved and adored, and always she always looked forward to Omaha. That was one thing for sure. So for the Tess Sawyer, for Mama C, and Stevie Lee and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and Coach Mo. What do we say, Tess Sawyer?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.